At 15 years old, I was mowing lawns for $10 an hour. But now I make over $100,000 every single month, day trading options, all because of this one simple strategy. And no, it's not some ICT BS system with 50 different indicators. It's a simple 3-step system that I follow every day consistently in the market. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the exact system that I use so you can copy it and skip all of the blown accounts and the years of trial and error that I had to go through. So this exact setup, this super small setup made me over $10,000, and I'm gonna break it down exactly how I was able to get this and how I can consistently find setups just like this that have, number one, an 80+% win rate and a 1 to 3 risk to reward. It's literally unheard of. So how did I find this trade, and what allows me to have an 80% win rate with this kind of stuff? Well, we all have to realize why the market does what it wants to do. When you understand price action and you understand why stocks move, you break it down into two simple things: buyers and sellers. And if we could identify the buyers and sellers real time, then we could have a pretty nice edge in the market that allows us to have an 80% win rate with a 1 to 3 risk to reward. But how do we know at this exact moment when to enter into puts, and why didn't we get in anywhere else? So the first thing I'm going to break down is key levels. What are key levels? Key levels is exactly where I enter. I enter only on key levels. That's my plan. That's my step one. So how do we find key levels on where to enter? Because that's the only area where we enter at. So we must look at the 1 hour time frame. There's no special thing here. So let's take a look at one of the key levels that I'm watching to the downside. This is how we find our key levels. We take a look at the 1 hour time frame. The reason why I use the 1 hour time frame is because that has shown to be the most highly profitable and probable time frame for key level making. That's it, right? There's nothing else to it. For the 1 hour, through my own data, has showed to be the best, so I keep using it. Now, how do we find key levels? We want to make sure there's reactions, and we want to make sure previously it broke out very nice, because if previously it broke out and it was so weird in that area when it broke out, well, now we have a lower chance of profitability and a lower probability of it continuing. We want to make sure that previously it reacted nice and broke out nice. If we take a look left at this 510 level, you guys can see once we broke out of that 510, it flew. Now we have this space right here from here to right around here that we could find a key level at. Now let's go over the reasons why I picked 510. Now, number one, we want to make sure that there's no candle closes above this or below this at this level unless it broke out. So for example, if I was going to have a level, and let's say right here, I couldn't because it closed above and then went right back down. Closed above, went right back down. The reason why 510 is still valid is because it closed above and broke out very nicely. Now, another reason why I have 510 is because it ends in a 0 or 5, which makes this a stronger level. That doesn't mean I can't take 511, 512, 513, 514, but if I'm between a 511 level and a 510 level, I'm going to pick 510 because it ends in a 0 or 5. Now, the next thing is we keep looking left, right? And we want to see where we start to react at. I like to see a minimum of 2 reactions. So this broke out, and then now if we want to play it to the downside, we need to start reacting twice in a certain area. And we almost had this 512 because it reacted there, but then it broke out towards the end of the day. And then pre-market this morning, we get a low of 510.50. So I can't take 511 because that already broke out. 510 ends with a 0 or 5. And it looks super clean on this 1 hour time frame because no candle closed under that. All the wicks are above that and reacting at that low, and it broke out super nice. So this is that nice 1 hour reaction. Same thing with the upside level. You guys can see we started reacting towards this 523. Then we reacted exactly at 523 after hours on this day. And then we reacted exactly at 523 again on this day. So 523 would be a level that I'm interested in taking to the upside because we haven't broke above it. We're reacting exactly at that area every single time. That's it. Now, to confirm 510, because you guys can see we broke out, but I want to make sure it broke out nice to increase our profitability and probability even more. So I'm going to go over to the 1 minute time frame. And this is what a lot of people don't do. So if you guys start seeing this on YouTube, you guys know exactly why. This increases my probability and profitability heavily. We go to the 1 minute time frame and we can see exactly what happened at 510. We reacted pre-market, and then once we broke out super nice, retested it, and then ran. That's exactly what I want to see on my breakouts, right? So if I am seeing exactly what I want to see on my breakouts previously, then we have a very high chance and a high probability and profitability that this will break out nice to the downside on this 510 level, as long as our next parameter is met. So we have our key level there. That doesn't mean automatically you have an 8% win rate. We just enter whenever. No, we next have to look at previous price action. So what do I mean by previous price action? Like I said, we don't want candle closes above that level. Check. We also want to make sure it's not extended. I have a 5 candle rule. So after 5 candles in that one direction, I can't get in. So let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good to go. The next thing is I want to make sure that buyers are actually here. Now, I could do that with something called time and sales, which we'll go over after this. But for right now, another way we could tell that there's buyers here was we had the flip right here. You guys can see that pre-market kind of made a nice little support area, which price bounced out at open, and then we flipped. So buyers flipped this thing, which is a great sign. Sellers try to come back down, brought it right back above high day, but then we started getting this wick right here, indicating that buyers are starting to slow down, sellers are starting to come in a little bit. Next thing you know, this candle broke out above and actually held above this high right there, which is a great sign for buyers. And then sellers try to come all the way back down, which again, at 510, there's going to be reactions there because it's such a nice wall. If there's no reactions there, then there might not even be a wall there for us to take a breakout above. So if we get this nice move down, and then this is something I like to call a red to green, if sellers brought it all the way down here and then buyers somehow brought it all the way back up and turned it red to green with enough momentum, as you guys are going to see on the time and sales, that is a great sign that buyers are still here and they're very strong and they literally took over the sellers. Great sign there, and that's why this literally flipped and got us a 60-cent move above that 510 right out of this pre-market high area. So what is time and sales? Time and sales is showing us real time the buyers and sellers that are being executed with market orders. So this will tell us what the stock is doing at this exact second and who's winning here, buyers versus sellers, which is something that will allow us to have a better edge in the market. Now, a couple things that I look at here is the bid, price, ask, and velocity. So if I'm taking a downside move, I want to make sure not only is the bid aggressively decreasing, but I also want to make sure the ask is going with it with velocity. We want to make sure that these numbers are flying. If they're not, then there's not enough volume there. If there's not enough volume in that direction, then how can we expect a very nice breakout? You guys seen these breakouts where we get in and it flies right in one direction. You can't do that if there's not enough buyers and sellers here. And you're literally seeing it right here real time what they're doing. This is literally a cheat code. Can you guys see that right there, right? Look how slow, and then it starts picking up a little bit every time we go to the downside. The problem is a lot of people will see that velocity, but if we're going the opposite direction, you're looking at the wrong velocity. If we start coming up, you're looking at buyer velocity if momentum's there. If we start coming down and momentum starts picking up as we're going down, that's a great sign if we're taking a downside move. Look at this. Look how fast and aggressive the bid and ask is going. And this is the exact trade that I was showing you in the beginning of this video. Look how aggressive this is. Look at that. Velocity is there, momentum's there, sellers are there. The bid is continuing to keep going down. The ask is also staying down as well. Sellers are here. We get in right before it's about to break because we are anticipated because of how much sellers are in that area. Boom, anticipating that. Stop loss is going to be 3-4, which is today's low, which is going to be around 5 to 7% loss. Super tight stop loss. Let's speed it up. Reacting there, we're staying patient. We know how the market moves. After a huge move to the downside, people are going to need to take profits, which is why I put today's low, because it could come up to the today's low and then fall right back down, which is exactly what's happening here. I'm taking it off as the momentum is falling through. I'm selling on the push and not when it starts to really slow down and start to bounce. I'm getting out as it's trying to bounce, if that makes sense. I'm getting out when the peak momentum is coming in, because that's going to be the peak right there. How do I know it's the peak? Because after a push like that, we're going to need to see people taking profits. We have these wicks right here indicating that it is starting to slow down in this area, but we got the push right here. It's all about probabilities, because now since we had this push, we have a probability of it coming up a little bit, starting to react in this area after that huge momentum push right there. And then now we just wait. See how it's holding? Look at that. I literally sold the bottom of that candle.
Percent. Keep it going.
See how it's stuck here, right? This is a great spot to take some off, but I already took some off. And now we just wait.
Contract.
Made this low.
17, 18.
Momentum's coming in still.
25.
But see how it's starting to slow down? Momentum's starting to slow down a little bit. I could see through the time and sales, it's starting to slow down, which is why I'm getting these trims right here. And look at that. Has a high probability of bouncing at this 577 a little bit and then potentially continuing or not. But again, all it is probabilities. This has a higher probability of bouncing in this area. The candle body is smaller than it was previously. We have the wicks on these two candles right here. And now my stop loss is going to be break even because this is the move. We're at 29%. I risked 5 to 7%. It's insane. Look at these bounces right here. I took more off there, as you guys can see. And then my stop loss break even. And then look, the chat killed it. And that's it. It's really that simple. And the biggest problem when it comes to trading is your mindset. You are holding yourself back. I can trade any strategy in the world, but I chose to choose the most profitable strategy. But I can be profitable with any strategy out there because I have a profitable mindset. I live trade every single morning. The link is in the description below. And also, if you guys want to apply to my personal mentorship, I literally hold your hand. You guys could apply in the link in the description as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, there's a free side of my Discord. If you guys want to ask me questions, I answer everybody for free. The link in the description below as well. See you guys in the next video. Peace.